How many times have you watched Pac-Man die? Doesn't bother him. This is explained Bandersnatch, simply, plainly, because I have spent over 10, I'm going to say between 10 and 12 hours playing this game over and over again, trying everything, and I've discovered what I believe is the message that we're supposed to get out of this. Because, as you know, Black Mirror often, they're not usually judgy, but most of the episodes revolve around making you think about a piece of technology, or how it's used in society, or how it could be used in society. And like I said, they don't often do it in a judgy way, oh, you're so bad, but they try to make you think, is this a good idea? Is this something that we can live with? Are humans really this horrible that they can corrupt anything? And they do it in a very plausible, slightly jumping, but never completely unrealistic way. And the same thing is happening for Bandersnatch. There's two theories in this. There is the in-game theory, and then there's the meta theory. So the in-game theory is that, as you know, you probably figured this out pretty quick. If you play Bandersnatch, you have hit a point where it's oof, you stop, and then you have the choice to go back. Either it'll give you one message, go back to this specific point, or allows you to go back to two different points, and you can choose to go back. And for sure, you also notice that in the top corner, it also says watch credits during that point. You have the option to just stop and watch the credits. I'm going to say this, and I might get yelled at for this, but I'm going to stand by this. I just need you to listen to me. Every ending that you get when it gives you the option to go back is a legitimate ending. I have been on Reddit and on YouTube, and people are just screaming constantly the true ending, or this is the true ending, or that's the true ending. No. Okay? This is designed like a choose your own storybook. And I loved choose your own storybooks when I was a kid. I still like them now. But every ending in a true ending storybook, and that's what Bandersnatch is, it's just an online version of that, is a real ending. It is a real way that the story can end. So obviously there's endings that make more sense. Obviously there's endings that we like better because we have a perception of what Black Mirror is supposed to be. There's endings that take longer, so they seem more gratifying. There are endings that are harder to get to, so it seems like we solved something. No. Every ending is a real ending, and it's representing as if you were literally taking a book, and you get to a part, and it stops, because that's the end of the story. Your choices have led you to that decision, that page, and that's the end. Now, here's a great theory. Here's where the theory part comes in. When you go back, and you press to go back to a certain time, it's like you flipping back the book and choosing, okay, I don't accept that as an ending, I want a different ending. And then you go back and you reset, and you flip back in the pages, or in the Bandersnatch, you just press the button, and you go back and you make a different decision, and you try to get a different result. I love how he did this, because I wrote a 15-page paper on Charlie Brooker and Black Mirror last year for one of my college classes. And just studying how Charlie thinks was amazing. I love how he did this. So one problem that I struggled with, and basically anyone who read a lot of Choose Your Own storybooks as a kid, or even now, will relate to, is oftentimes when you get to an ending and you're oh, I didn't like that. Sometimes you have to go back a few choices, not just one choice, maybe 2 or 3 choices, to go back to a point where you can actually change things, significantly change things. And see, the problem with that is, and the problem that we always struggle with, is that you forget what has and hasn't happened as you scroll back. Because if you went back 3 choices, that could be 10, 15 pages of content that has now not happened, but you still remember that. And Charlie Brooker did this amazing thing where he projects that onto the characters. That's why the characters get confused in Bandersnatch. They're we've met before, or we've had this conversation before. He is manifesting the reader's mind, getting confused about what has and hasn't happened, and who has and hasn't met, and who have and haven't had certain conversations. And he's putting that on the actual characters. I hope I explained that in a way that makes sense. Let me try to say it again simply. Okay. If you're reading a book, and you get to an ending that you don't like, and you go back a few different choices, there are things and conversations and events that happened that you read that no longer happen. So when you're reading a new path, you often get confused and say, haven't they already had a conversation like this? Hasn't this already happened? Didn't they already meet this character? And in the same way, whenever you go back in Bandersnatch, the characters have that feeling. Haven't we had this conversation before? Haven't we talked before? Didn't we meet before? Because Charlie Brooker has chosen to take the effect that the reader usually has of getting confused about what has and hasn't happened because they choose an alternate path. And he's projecting it on the characters, so they are actually getting confused as well by our actions of what we have and haven't done by going back and choosing a different storyline. Okay, now on to the more meta theory. And I'm really proud of this, because this is where the actual technology bit comes. Because so far, it really wasn't a lot about technology. Like, Pac-Man was introduced and was, like, mentioned, but, like, there hasn't been a lot of technology. And most Black Mirror episodes revolve around technology. So here's the technology bit. The technology bit is you. Actually you. Okay? You have spent, if you play this a lot, if you're actually digging into it, which most people have, I know a few people just play it like once or twice, but people like me who have dug into it continuously over and over again, looking for different paths, it's useless. We are chasing after something useless. You've probably realized if you've gone on the internet by now that no one's found a happy ending where either he gets to save his mom or where he gets a 5-star rating and doesn't go to jail. None of that has ever happened because it's not possible. Okay, there isn't, I don't believe, you could argue this, but I don't believe there's ever a path designed where he does get that. But with that, we are spending our time and our energy chasing after something that doesn't exist. And see, here's the thing, and he mentioned this, if you take the path where you kill your dad and you chop up his body, then he is able to create a 5-out-of-5-star game, and he mentions, I had to cut back, I only need to give the viewers, the players, the illusion of choice. This is the message, the meta message in Bandersnatch. Apps like Netflix, like Twitter, like Instagram, any social media app, any article, any newspaper, it's all the things that any company basically that you can think of online, and a lot in real life too. What they need and what they want most from customers is not necessarily money, but engagement. Okay? They need engagement. As you see this all the time, like when you see stats like Twitter has 53 daily users. That's not people who are daily spending money on Twitter. No, those are people who are spending their time using the Twitter app. That's what companies, online companies like social media thrive off. That's how they get their money, from that engagement. Okay? And anyone, this is myself included, this is why I love this series so much, because I fell for it. I fell for this trap. I spent, like I said, 10 plus hours delving into this. And that's exactly what companies want. That's exactly what social media apps want. They want you to waste your time using their app. And they provide this illusion of something. You'll get something out of this. There's a prize to be won. But there isn't. Like, what happens if you spend 10 hours on Instagram? Like, do they send you money? Do you get a PR package with a reward? Does someone come to your house and give you a high five? No. There's nothing. But we still do it because there's that instant gratification. There's that illusion that maybe if I just keep going, something special will happen. They create this illusion that you should keep going, but there really isn't anything that you get if you keep going. The journey may be exciting, and you may have fun along the way, but they create an illusion that there's something that you can achieve, and there isn't. And they do that because all they need you to do is spend your time using their application, which is exactly what Bandersnatch does. The meta theory, I spent, and most other people who are delving into this, spent hours upon hours delving into the game for nothing. Like I said, there's no happy ending. There's no, okay, perfectly satisfied. And even if there was, how's that affect you? Let's say that there was a perfect ending where everything works out. Does that change your life? No. Does that make you better? No. Do you get a prize for finding it? No. Even if there was a happy ending, you still wasted hours of your life for nothing. And the company got what they wanted. They got your time. They got your engagement. That's all they wanted. And you just gave it to them. You didn't even think about it. And I think that Black Mirror did this so perfectly because with that choose your own ending story, you just so easily waste hours playing it and you don't even realize it. And like, I know that this is starting to sound like a conspiracy, but it's an actual tactic. Like, this is basic business practice. This is basic economics, just getting people to engage with your company. And the last thing for this, Bandersnatch. I'm not sure if any of you know, I only knew this because I love literature so much. I don't talk about that enough on this channel. I am a literature nerd. As soon as I saw Bandersnatch, I knew exactly what I was referencing. Bandersnatch is a creature that Lewis Carroll created. If you don't know Lewis Carroll, he is the one who wrote Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. And in Alice Through the Looking Glass, he creates this character called a Bandersnatch. So there isn't much known about it. It's a mysterious creature. All it's known is that it's vicious, kind of furious, and extraordinarily fast. And a lot of times it's used as like kind of a myth, like, oh, you're trying to like slay a dragon, it'd be easier to catch a Bandersnatch, kind of like in that method. And it's amazing because there's nothing special about the Bandersnatch. There isn't like, you don't get, it's not like a magical creature that will grant you a wish if you catch it. No. And obviously in the story is a huge part, but it's mentioned that people have wasted their entire lives chasing after a Bandersnatch, and it literally will give them nothing, even if they catch it. Just because it's mysterious, they'll go after it. They waste their lives for it, and there's nothing special about that. So even the title of the show, which I know Black Mirror does a lot, but I especially love it. Like I said, I might just love it because I'm a literature nerd. But even just the episode title literally tells you this is going to be a journey chasing after something mysterious, kind of scary, and extraordinarily fast. It will be a useless chase because no one has ever caught a Bandersnatch. A useless chase that will give you nothing, even if you, for some reason, are able to complete it. But go ahead. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Spend as much time as you want on it. And I was just amazed. Okay. But yeah, so that's my theory, my two theories, my in-game theory about how he uses characters getting confused to represent how you get confused because you're choosing to rewrite the story and not accept the ending, even though it is a legitimate ending and a legitimate way the story could have happened. And the meta theory about how you're just supposed to waste your time in it, and you have. And not necessarily you, of course, maybe you only played it once. Shut up. But I wasted a lot of time in it, and that's why I feel comfortable saying this, because I fell for it. Yeah, but I think that's my theory, so I hope you guys like it. If you did like it, make sure to leave it a like. Comment down below, do you agree with this theory? Is there any other theories going around right now about it that you think are better or that better explain it? And share this with any of your friends who are playing Bandersnatch and you have wasted a lot of time or like trying to shift through all the information, because I think this will really make it clearer the fact that they can't find something hugely significant is kind of the point of it. I'm sorry, I apologize now for their loss. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. I hopefully have this out on December 31st. I'm actually recording it on December 31st because I want one video out before the end of the year. Oh my gosh. And I have a bunch of dumb little videos planned for like the beginning of January just because I want to be cute and get some content out for 2019. I'm not going to do anything talking about really 2019. I'll probably do that in 2018. I'll probably do that in a later video. I don't know, maybe, whatever. Or I might just do it on social media. So speaking of which, that plug. Follow me on all my social media. I'm going to say most definitely on Instagram. I've been grinding on Instagram. So follow me on my main Instagram. I know, this is like the first time I've ever said that. But I've been grinding. Like I said, today is December 31st. I am going to 2 different parties today, and I'll be putting a lot of information on Instagram. So yeah, make sure to check that out. Thank you so much, guys. 2018 has been an amazing year. Like I said, I'll talk about that more later sometime, I hope. I think that's all I need, guys. So let's have some fun and smile, because 2018 was a ride, and Bandersnatch was a great way to end it.